Aloha kako everybody! Welcome to the Aloha Friday show with the Sandwich Island Social Network. We love Aloha Fridays because we always have wonderful guests come hang out with us. Vala'au talk story. And sometimes it gets kind of deep. We got a kuka kuka, we get that's deep. That's just Vala'au, man. So welcome to the Aloha Friday show. My name is Kamaka Brown, and we stay right over here on the continent. But the aloha spans the globe, right? And thank you so much for joining us. And if you have some comments, you want to say aloha to our guests, or you want to ask questions, or you want to just say how's it, Aloha Friday, please do so. We love to hear from you. And right now, in our virtual green room, enjoying the smoked marlin that we would put in a green room. Also get one virtual platter of sushi over there. I hope they're enjoying the virtual sushi. I'm going to check in with them how they're enjoying. Right now, please welcome to the Aloha Friday show, Gary and Sheldeen Haleamau. What's up?
Hey, was uno the Malin, was uno. Mahalo.
Hey, we spare no expense, over here. We just, it's nice when we can say virtual because, it matches our budget, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can speak about it and you come all for it.
Oh yeah. First of all, big mahalo nui to the both of you, Gary and Sheldeen, for joining us from your home in Las Vegas, Nevada. We get plenty Hawaiians and Hawaiians at hearts in Las Vegas, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But just a big mahalo for joining us, and we already get some friends already jumping in over there. Let me see who is coming in over here. I see. It's on the restream side. Let me see. Aha, there's Coach Marty Burns. What's up, brother Marty? He say aloha kako. What's up, brah? Good to see you. Hey. Marty Burns has a pop-up bakery called Broke the Mount Bakery, and he make his mochi and his ube, lilikoi mochi. Oh, brother is one amazing baker, and so you come to Southern California at some of our events, you can see Marty Burns and the Broke the Mount Bake Shop that's happening over there. Welcome, Marty. Oh, you just mentioned Marty's name. I put on 5 pounds. I tell you, it's dangerous. So the Haleamau family is deep Big Island, Paniolo, 4 generations deep of Paniolo, huh, Gary, over there, deep, brah. We're talking about Hui Hui Ranch, Pu'uva'ava Ranch. I'm just curious what it was like growing up on the ranch with your dad, who is like, I watched an interview with him, and I just loved it so much, man. I would love to have him on to talk story too, because he loves the mo'olelo. We love the mo'olelo, man. Tell us about the family. Tell us about growing up on the ranch like that, Gary.
Hey, well, right on. Happy birthday to my dad. He just made 84 years old.
Oh, nice.
Still top shape, yeah. Still top shape. Doesn't do too much cowboy stuff, but he sure is a good consultant. And he like tell everybody what to do and how to do. But
hey, you live that long, you can tell anybody what to do, man.
well, yeah. But one of the trades that he's still doing from cowboy time is he makes knife cases.
Oh, nice.
Phone cases.
Yeah, he makes cell phone cases, everything out of leather, and he's supposed to make extra money, because we tie a lot of that now. But
yeah,
every time somebody comes, they sit down, talk story with him. He's so easy to make friends with, and he just loves people. That by the time they leave with 2-3 knife cases for free.
Hawaiian.
Yeah, so, these are some of the knife cases he make, the real cowboy style.
Look at that.
Yeah, and come with knife, come with steel.
Yeah.
Come with the steel here.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get him in the camera there.
Wow, bro.
So, yeah, but the connection to that is cowboys always get knife with them.
Yeah.
But the question, to answer the question about growing up, what was it like? Man, it was rough. It was a rough life.
Mm.
I remember years ago, we actually lived in the Haleamau, Hale, and but no more electricity. It was all kukui helipo, and then eventually the ranch built homes for the cowboys. So they put number. My dad had number one. We had the top house. We moved into that house, so we finally had electricity and all of that. So it made things a little bit easier. But we lived off the land. Everything was off the land. We went
Right.
hunt. My dad used to, him and the rest of the cowboys used to rope wild pee. And I was young. I was maybe 2, 3, 4 years old, and I used to go with them, sit in the cattle truck while they in the bushes catching all these wild bulls.
Hmm.
But and I remember that. I mean, to this day, I still remember some of the highlights, especially when we go home and visit, and we riding down in the area, and I look at a certain area and I goes, "Hey, wasn't there a pen there before?" He goes, "Yeah, you remember that?" You know, but we milked our own cow. We got our own milk. In fact, my sister, when she was born, she was raised on Lalimu's milk, and
Wow.
so that was my job. My job was to go there and hold a bucket, and hopefully the bugger no kick and kick the milk over. Even if you that small, they kick the milk over, you get leaking because you was holding a bucket, you drop them, But
It's your fault.
yeah, but we were so blessed because the ranch was on 35,000 acres in Kona, Hui
Oh.
Hui Ranch, from the top of Walalai all the way down to the ocean. So about 8, 9,000 acres belong to the ranch itself, but the rest was lease land, and they've
Hmm.
had that for years because my great grandpa went work on the ranch, my grandfather worked on the ranch, my dad worked on the ranch, and all his uncles and cousins.
Wow.
And I worked on the ranch. I worked on the ranch. Actually, I was like 8 years old, and I was on the ranch already, planting grass, poisoning trees, riding horse, driving cattle, just doing everything that the cowboy does. The one thing about being cowboy is that you're not just cowboy. You plumber, you carpenter. You gotta be electrician. You gotta do everything, right? Uh, and then eventually, as I worked my several years on the ranch, I was able to help launch the electric fence program for the Big Island.
Hmm.
So yeah, so myself and a couple other younger boys, we all went to school to learn how to do the electric fence, and of course was led by my dad. So it's always hard working with your father because your father he always gonna pick on you, right?
Of course.
You know, one of the things I learned, and I tell my boys, every time I scold them about certain things, no matter how old they are, but I tell them one day you're gonna realize that scolding was because I love you so much.
Aye.
And that came from my dad too. He told me that as well. So I was like, yeah, there you go.
So Sheldeen, anytime you get plumbing problem, electric problem, you guys don't call the hand. You get a built-in handyman right there, right? He get
Built
on.
in. It's like jack of all trades.
You know, one funny story is when I met Sheldeen in college.
Yeah,
Uh, I took her home corner for the first time to go visit my parents and
yeah.
meet my parents like that. And just so happened my father was killing cow that day. So
Oh.
when we get to the house, we go inside, change clothes. Say, come on, we go outside. And my dad looking at her, girl, come here, hold her leg. And she's all,
I was all flustered. I didn't know what to do.
Now, Sheldeen,
Oh,
you're a Kauai girl.
I am.
Boy,
I'm a
Kauai
Kobe.
girl. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
very different upbringing. What was your what part of Kauai, and what about your coming up?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Hanapepe, Kauai, and
Ah,
my and our ohana is a ocean. Everything was fishing. My
yeah.
dad was holo holo all the time and swimming. We a lot of our time was at the beach and
Ah,
in providing for the family. We went holo
yeah.
holo and caught fish and brought it home. My mom would prepare it and also we had ohana that had lo'i
Mm.
right up the road from our hale. So that's we would get taro and my mom and our family was known for making poi and Hawaiian salt. So our family, my Kaohi family comes from Hanapepe, but we belong to the salt pond community as well.
Yeah.
So my grandpa and my great, grandparents were a part of it and starting the salt pond community. So that was our upbringing. Our upbringing was
Yeah.
Hawaiian salt, eating kalo and fish, a lot of fish.
So you guys,
Meat, so
you,
much.
you guys, the original surf and turf then. Surf
Serpent.
and turf.
Yes, surf and turf.
And that's a
She
nick.
eat so much meat until she met me.
Yeah, seriously. Hardly any meat, man. Most of it was fish. A
Yeah,
lot of fish.
I have some dear friends that live out in Pakala. In fact, I was just there in June, and they live in one of the Robinson's house, Puni Troy Waiale Ali. And so
Yes.
the dear ohana to me. I just love the both of them. In fact, I'll see them in a couple of weeks. They're gonna come up to the
Nice.
continent. But
Yeah.
yeah, they took me down to the salt flats, down Hana Pepe, with the
Yeah.
red dirt, and yeah, it was so beautiful, man. Hey, we get some friends. We get some friends when jump in over here. I want to make sure I don't miss saying aloha to them. There's Muriel. Aloha, Muriel. So good talking to you on the phone the other day. So wonderful. We do miss Carl so much. And this Kolohi over here, you may know Valerie.
Yes.
This Kauai
Aloha.
girl, there she is.
Aloha. Aloha.
And then we got our friend Nancy out in Anaheim. She's saying aloha. She like jump in over here. Um, and here is Aloha Pauhana Friday. This is Kay Bennett from the West Wing of the Holly. And let me see. Ooh, here, talk about one hammer. Talk about one hammer. Look at this, Kavika. What's up,
Ooh.
Kavika?
Oh,
Oh,
That's one hammer right there. That's one hammer.
yeah.
Brother Kavika. And he's going, yes, Hana Pepe salt ponds, man. Yes, sir, Kavika. Yes, sir. You know. And then, yeah, let me see. And, typical Hawaiian, we go, you always got to connect. Hey, you know anybody on Kauai? Do you know any of the Blake Ohana on Kauai there, Sheldeen? Do you know any of them? The Blakes? No? Okay,
I might know by face, but I
sure.
left when I left Kauai when I was very young. I went to Kamehameha
Got
when
it.
I was 15,
Hi.
and after that, I just rarely visited. I
Yeah.
believe
Uh-huh.
She met.
once in a while
She
because of
made
him. Yeah, but
yeah, so nice, so nice. And going just a little bit back to your dad, uh, Gary, and he really, in fact, one thing I was reading, it says that he exemplifies the true Hawaiian cowboy for his less zest for life, um, and he has received a number of awards and recognition because of his living the Paniolo way. He's a living treasure, the embodiment of the Aloha spirit, and that's your dad, man, and that's
Yeah.
where you sprung from, man. That's your
Yeah. I'm
roots,
really
man.
impressed, man. My dad is such a remarkable man. So much knowledge,
yeah,
and in fact, today there's only really two of them. The old Paniolo, Uncle Sani Kekealani, and my dad are the only ones for the West Side Ahupua'a that has the knowledge, to share. So they've been doing a lot of work with Pulamanui and nonprofit organizations that are beginning to document all of the interesting things about the certain areas on the island, the different mountains, about the life of a cowboy and so forth. But yeah, the guy is amazing. That's why we wrote the song. He's a cowboy, a hero, my dad. You know,
Yeah. Um, and so
yeah,
good that his stories, his mo'olelo, are being recorded and being documented. Yeah. Because a lot of times the kupuna pass away and the stories, their mo'olelo passes with them, you know?
yeah,
And a lot of the family with the ohana would say, "Oh, I wish we would have documented. I wish we would have recorded. I wish we would have wrote down, what Tutu Man was talking about and stuff." And so it's so good that his rich heritage of your family, the Haleamau family, is documented and shared with the global ohana that they can
yeah.
go. And I love so much sitting down and spending that half hour with your dad in that interview that he was talking story. It was so good, man. It was really, really nice.
And you know what's so wonderful is that aside from being a cowboy, my dad was a really awesome musician.
Mm,
And back in the days when we grew up, it's like it's so different from today because before, when you have one party, you have a birthday party, a luau, graduation, you don't need hire musicians,
I
right?
know.
Everybody come with the instruments, and they just sit down and they play at one table, and everybody join in, and that's how it used to be for me growing up. And I was, yeah, a little bit kind of like forced into having to sit there because I guess my dad saw something in me that
Mm.
he wanted to help flourish. But then eventually I fell in love with what I was seeing and what I was hearing. Going through the teaching process was really rough because my uncles, they was cowboys too, and they slap your head, doing right. They put your finger, they do whatever, but most of them would be like, listen, just listen, no ask questions, just listen and learn. So that's what I did. And then when I went home, I took that guitar in my room and I practiced, and eventually, by the time I was 8 years old, I was playing slaki already, and by 10 years old, I was performing professionally at the King Kamehameha Hotel. And all thanks to my dad for introducing me to that lifestyle of music and just pushing me, nudging me to stay focused, not go out there play with the kids, go play marbles or go climb trees or whatever else.
Right.
He wanted me to sit there where they was all having a good time and make sure I learn and listen to the music. So I appreciate that, mahalo to my pops. But also, he was he traveled the continent U.S. a lot, sharing music, sharing poetry, um, Paniolo music, songs about campfire. I call them campfire music. Sharing that with the National Council for Traditional Arts used to come out and do a promotion with him. So he traveled with Clyde Kindy Sproat as far as all the way to Carnegie Hall, and so he pretty much laid that foundation for me and my family now to be able to be involved in the national folk festivals that they have throughout the states up here. It's really awesome what he has done for us, and so I love my dad.
Oh, that's good. So in the meantime, Sheldeen, you're growing up on Kauai. So, this is you guys are the yin and yang. I tell you, we talk about surf and turf. Now you honing your chops, your skills, on the guitar, singing, and by the way, you have this um, my friend Mark Yamanaka said that your falsetto is poised smooth falsetto is what he said. He said brother's falsetto is poised smooth. That's what Mark said. Mark,
Oh,
but
Mark.
but but Sheldon, while doing this was happening. Now you as Pulalia, my Hanai daughter Hanamakai who lives at Kohala side, she would say hula is life. And so
Mm.
for you come and by the way, we're talking to Miss Aloha Hula 1988. Hello. Um, yeah. Tell me about hula and your life and how, on Kauai as you're growing up, hula is becoming your life.
Yeah, hula definitely. My parents they were really family oriented. I'm kind of like tearing up right now, only because my parents really did all that they could, to put us in the sports, put us into cheerleading, for Pop Warner, whatever it was. But hula was one that they would go from one end of the island to the other just to make sure I went to practice. We did everything. They did everything necessary to make sure I was at hula and did everything, and my life was encompassed by it. So I really am thankful to my parents. They're doing whatever it took, for me. And
Hmm.
so hula was a part of my life since a young age. In fact, I was dancing hula. So when he was singing, I was already dancing as well. And when he was recording, well, how old are you? You were 10, 11 when he first recorded his albums or when he was performing.
Hmm.
I was performing as well at a young age with
Wow.
all these 16, 17-year-olds in the nightclubs. And I was like 9 and 10 years old, and we would go to these to Princeville, to Kauai Surf Hotel, and did all these hula shows at a very very young age. And so hula has been a part of my life. It's not only dancing the hula, it's embracing the culture and the ike of it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's all of that. And if you don't have it in your heart, it becomes a part of you, and then it drops down into your heart, and it never leaves you. So that's the part where it becomes life, of hula.
I.
So yeah, my parents did. My mom did everything for me. She
Oh.
did my costumes, she did my lace, and everything had to be very done with excellence. Till this day, everything done just a certain way. So I'm so grateful to all that they for all that they did for me. So,
Yeah. Here's in fact this morning Valerie go send me this. She goes, "Look, look.
yeah, my mom.
Hey, there's Valerie that's
Yeah,
on our listening and watching you tonight, and there's your mama, yeah.
yeah,
Um, look how beautiful. Look how beautiful.
yeah.
Um,
My
uh,
mom's still going. She's 88 years old, and
Woo! So wonderful.
yes.
And then let me see. Hewa nada when she would send. Look at that.
Oh, so funny because that's my aunt Arlene. She lived in the States as well, in California,
Uh-huh.
um, and both of these ladies had to be things had to be done. I guess it's the kaohi way.
Got
Everything
it.
had to be done with excellence. But my auntie
Oh,
uh, loved hula as well. She was very dear to me.
Yeah.
So
uh,
I wanted to describe how meticulous they was. When you're making lau lau,
I,
it's almost like the meat had to be cut with a measuring tape because everything had to be certain way, certain length, certain thickness. And then when you wrap them, if not wrapped good, they go over there, take them out, and they retie them for you.
yeah. That reminds me of some of my kupuna smoking. Ah, kapulu. Come on, you gotta make this. Hey, oh, hey, get away from me, Mr. Kapulu. You don't know how to do that. Go on the other side. It's like, okay,
yeah,
okay, auntie, okay, okay. There's Valerie. She go, love you, cousin. Thank you, Val, for sending.
you.
Yeah. For sending that lovely picture over here. And Kavika says the yes, Kalilo. Ohana was Hana Pepe too. Was that your
Oh
side?
yeah,
Yeah,
Kabisoas, yes. A
yeah.
very very good friend of mine. She lives where was it, by the Hongwanji in Hanapepe. So this is a funny story. Side note. So we just had our hula uni in Kona a few weeks ago,
I
and she and I know she's blondie, blonde hair, blue eye girl, and I'm the dark Kanaka looking one. But back then, when the Kaiwo Maru used to dock up in Port Allen, and this was back in the early like 70s, 70s in fact, yeah. So they used to dock in at the Port Allen, and make their way down to the Hong One G. But my friend and I, Rochelle, if she's gonna ever hear this, she and I used to teach them hula. And we were like really, really young. We were like 8, 9 years old, and teaching these sailors how to dance hula, and then after that go to the bon dance, and dance their Japanese cultural dances, which was yeah, all that kind of stuff. So she and I were teachers of hula way back when we were
wow,
young. Lo and behold, still a great friend of mine.
wow, so good.
Young
Well,
kids.
that continues, right on down to today because there we
Hey,
are, right? Halau
ooh,
hula. Oh, kale momi. That's your halau.
hi.
um, right there in Las Vegas, and so nice, carrying on that rich tradition of hula, and mahalo for doing that as you continue. And as we talk about your lives, so many wonderful connections that it was almost, it was meant to be that you guys be together because the more we talk about your parallel stories, yeah, of growing up, you on Kauai, you on Moko Okeawe, Gary. Um, it was just meant to be. It was that was. How did you bridge the from Hana Pepe
Of
and
course.
and Moko Okeawe? How did that happen? If you don't mind sharing.
God had a plan. He had a plan.
I
We actually met in University of Hawaii, Hilo. So
Ah.
I was already living in the apartment complex for a year, and then they moved in. Her and four other girls. They all moved into the apartment right next to me.
Uh-huh.
And so I was my major was animal science, so my classes started like 5 a.m. in the morning. I get up early, and so I get all these Kamehameha girls over there. They stay up late, partying, making big noise. I gotta get up early, so when I go to school in the morning, I close their door because they leave their door open. They all lele, inside the room. Well, we close the door, and then eventually stop by, talk story, and then. But
Ah.
we had a kanikapila every Thursday night, and so we would play music outside on the stairway. And one night I was playing my guitar, and then her friends encouraged her to come out and do one hula. So when I seen her come out and dance the hula, I was like, "This is it. That's mine.
Ooh,
That's mine.
ooh.
Come on, let's go." Yeah, so we met in Hilo, and then one thing led to another. Next thing you know, she moved into my apartment, and then, and
Okay,
it's
okay.
still never met her parents though. I still never met her parents. So yeah, I mean that's how we met. I
Yeah.
mean,
So, Sheldon, what did you think when you hear this Hawaiian playing his music? What was your first impression? What were you looking
Oh,
at?
like who is that melodic angel like singing? It was so beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, it was his playing actually. His guitar playing was really, aside from his voice, I was really attracted to
Nice.
the music he was playing on his guitar. So it was really beautiful, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll go ahead and that's a
Yeah.
yeah,
There's my brother Dan Logronio, who is a part of our HUI here at the Sandwich Island Social Network, our 501(c) nonprofit. And you can learn about that on the lower right hand corner of your screen for all of our friends, sandislands.org. So this is brother Dan, the yin and yang, the fish and poi. This couple is a perfect example of pono in Hawaii, from ranch land to the seashore. Perfect balance, right? That is it. You got
all that. Yeah,
Kani
meeting
ala,
yeah,
right?
meeting her was one thing, but here's another funny story. So,
Yeah.
um, when I met Sheldeen and everything, we were going out for over a year already, and it finally came to the point where I had to meet her parents now. So I've been hearing these stories about her dad, how big this guy is, and he from Niihau and da da da. So I was playing music with, it was me, brother Smitty, Claiborne Smith, Charlie Mahi,
Mhm.
and um, Ahuna, Kule Ahuna. We were playing music together, and then her family hired us to go Kauai and do their family reunion. And so we went to the family reunion. So now we driving into the yard with the van, and I'm like, I see this big guy. Now the father would look like he actually looked like he was 10 feet tall when he was sitting in the van. But so I'm telling Kool and Smitty, come on, go out. They go, no way, brother, you get out by yourself. That's And finally, I jumped out of the car. He looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, hello again." He goes, "Oh, so you look like I was going to choke your neck." Yeah, it was a big
Oh.
man, boy. Whew. That was a spooky moment for me.
Your whole life in flash in front of you.
Yeah, but after I sang him his first song, that was it. He fell in love with me. Then I became the
Oh,
song.
oh, so nice. Marty Burns is saying, I have to say, I love, love, love Pohakuloa, that song, Pohakuloa. Oh, yes, that is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
And we get C Honda. She go, Kauai SY. That's a Kauai girl right there. That's why Kauai SY. Hey, good morning, C. Nice to have you join us, girl. Really, really awesome. And let me see. I'll make sure I never miss you. A lot of our friends are popping in over here, but a lot of them coming and talking to each other and stuff. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for your comments. And anytime you guys jump in, you like share in the conversation. Us guys just follow all over here talking. And if you just join us, such a wonderful conversation with Gary and Sheldeen Haleamau from their home in Las Vegas. And in a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about the transition from the Aina all the way to Las Vegas over there, and what brought you guys there. But what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna take a small kind break, and then we will be right back with Gary and Sheldeen Haleamau. So hang in there, gang. We shall return.
The history of the Slaki started back when the vaqueros came to Hawaii and introduced the guitar and also trained the Hawaiian people how to herd cattle or mend the cattle in Hawaii. But when they left their guitars and they forgot to teach the Hawaiians how to tune the guitar. So the Hawaiians picked it up and created their own style of tuning. You can take it and you can create just something so beautiful. Just like that.
Well, my first memories of Gary was back in college. And we both attended the University of Hawaii at Hilo. And he was playing in the staircase. And I heard that because it was right near my apartment. And when I heard the music, I was like so intrigued. And I said, wow, what is that? And went out to the patio area and just started to dance and move to the music because it was so beautiful.
What would happen is every weekend after hard weeks of work, family would get together. My dad would and my uncles would get together, grab the guitars, and they would play and they would sing, and I would sit there and I would watch and just be so intrigued by the sound that was created. And unlike the other kids, everybody was outside playing. But I guess my dad saw this gift in me and would say, boy, stay here, sit down and watch. You know, back in the day, it wasn't like they would sit there and teach you. If you wanted to learn, they would say, watch. And that's how we would learn.
And I think his music is not only unique, but I think his music is pure. I think his music has both best of both worlds. He loves the old style Hawaiian music, as well as contemporary or his own kind of style that he adds to it. But I feel his music is very honest, innocent to me, and he does as he wills, and I totally love his music.
Notable people, the greats, people like Gabi Pahinui, when I was 10 years old, had the opportunity of playing with him at the Luau on the Big Island of Hawaii, traveled all over the United States with people like Mike Ka'ava, Ledward Ka'apana, Pekelo Kazma, Erika Mai, being a part of the Sons of Hawaii.
For me, my husband is the best, and I think he blesses a lot of people with his music, and people of Hawaii loves his style of music. Although it's, kind of traditional, old style Hawaiian, I think people yearn for that also. And they look towards him as being an icon into that era or that style of music. So I really think that people love it because it's real.
Yes, it is real. Oh, it's chicken skin watching that. That is so beautiful. Thanks you guys for putting that together and sharing it. We have an opportunity to see you dance as well and hear that like Mark said, poise, smooth falsetto, brah. So everything is going just fine on the Aina. You two have met and you're making beautiful music together, and all of a sudden, boom, Las Vegas. Uh, what the scoops? What the scoops, Las Vegas?
What over us, right? Man. So, prior to moving to Las Vegas, we were both in ministry in Hawaii. I was kind of like 1 feet in, 1 feet out. She
Hmm.
was 2 feet in, but so before she actually came to Vegas, and she took a trip to Vegas with her family.
Ah,
And I, I mean, I'm speaking for you. I'm sorry. I should let you tell your story, but nevertheless, she she took a liking to Vegas, and
hmm.
she fell in love with Vegas. And in her heart, she knew that wow, that I want Vegas to be my home. And then in the same manner, I was a home inspector, sort of sales for a company called Terminex back in Hawaii, and so I took a managerial test, and I actually passed the test, and I was in the top two, and they
Nice.
asked me if I wanted to come to Vegas to open up an office here in Vegas because they didn't have a
Got it.
Vegas at the time.
Yeah.
And when they told me Vegas, I was like, no way, I ain't gonna go to Vegas. And I was like, no way. But anyway, so A couple weeks went by, and we ended up having a leadership meeting in our church. And the pastor comes out and he says, "Hey guys, I'm being called to go to Vegas. And if anybody wants to tag along, you're welcome to come along with us." And I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me. And I'm like, wow, did I miss it or what? So we decided, you know what, we're going to come up, we're going to help our pastors get the church started up here in Vegas.
Mhm.
And in our minds, we was like, okay, maybe like 5 years or so, we come up, get the church established, and then maybe we go back home. Well, 25 years later, we're still in Vegas. And we've loved it. We've had two kids here since then. We've done so many community events. We've done so much for our community and for the Hawaiian community and the community at large. Sheldeen started Hula Halal, blessed so many lives. Our music, I started music with a friend that moved up to Vegas prior, Wayne Francisco. He was playing with two other guys with a group called Manoa, Uncle Willie Lau and Victor Alcantara. They had a group here called Manoa. And so I was just jumping in with them, tagging along. And then eventually Uncle Willie became part of Sheldeen and I and Curran. And we started our group called Kavili. And it's just been going on and on. So now it's Uncle
Yeah.
Willie ended up retiring, and because he wanted to spend more time with his grandchildren. But every
Mm.
now and then we're so blessed to get him to jump on with us. But so now we continue the legacy of Kavili with Sheldeen, myself, and my son Curran.
That's beautiful. There's a saying, right? Blossom wherever you're planted. Yeah,
Mm.
blossom wherever you're planted. And it's been recognized. You guys from the Nevada Arts Council, you got the Heritage of Award, right? Which must have come as a big surprise, Sheldeen, for you guys. That right?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, we're totally blown away
We're like,
because
okay, mahalo nui, but
in
we've done
fact,
a lot.
prior to that, was it we? So prior to that, we were chosen to represent Nevada
Oh yeah.
at the state's capital. So
Wow.
they wanted to fly us to go to the state's capital and
Mm,
Kennedy Center to do a performance there in
wow.
representation of Nevada.
Nevada.
And we were like,
Wow.
huh? We wait, Nevada cowboy, us Hawaiian, okay, well we'll make Hawaiian cowboy. Let's do it. We go. So yeah, we were so blessed to do that. And when we came back, they nominated us for the Nevada Heritage Award, which is a really prestigious award. I mean, to get that award takes a lot of community involvement, and
Yeah, we did a lot.
yeah, we did a
Yeah.
lot. Favor.
Yeah.
Just,
Um,
yeah.
okay. I gotta ask. Okay. Um, no, no, no. I know everybody watching going, Kamaka, did you put up a wrong picture? This is Liberace. What, what does Liberace and Haleamau uh, story in Las Vegas? How do they connect now?
Wow, that was a really awesome season of my life. Actually, when we first moved, I had we had some money in our savings, but it was time for me to get a job, and so I ended up getting a job at Delta Airlines, and I was getting paid like $6.90 an hour for throwing bags in the bag room. And I just couldn't take it. But anyway, we were living in this apartment complex, and our neighbor above, she was a secretary at the Liberace Museum, and she one day she told us, "Hey, we're looking for a maintenance guy," and I'm like, "I can do maintenance. I'm cowboy. I can do all kinds of stuff." So anyway, I applied for the job. I got the job the same day, and then I started working at the Liberace Museum. And so I started taking care of all his pianos, his cars, and then eventually they asked me if I would spearhead the renovation of the museum and the whole plaza.
Wow.
So I sort of got into that. That's how I was introduced to actually the museum community and a little bit of construction as well at the same time. So I did that project, and then yeah, so that's how I met. I was involved with Liberace, and then thereafter, a few years later, when the museum ended up closing down, they asked me to come on board as a consultant for a lot of the pianos and the cars because I had all the knowledge of how they operated and they worked and where the pieces were, because they took his artifacts and created a traveling exhibition that is
Okay.
right now currently traveling Europe. So it's all over in Europe. So the good thing about it is everything that he established and created is being preserved into this whole traveling exhibition that's going all over the world. So
Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing. so so the museum, I guess the museum industry, if you will, um, led you to this is where you are involved with the Discovery Children's Museum right there in Las Vegas. Tell us about that.
I completely love I truly love what I do. Being able to develop, work, design, create for the children. Prior to going to the Discovery Children's Museum, though, I had the opportunity of going to the Neon Museum.
Mhm.
I did that for about 2.5 years, and I was involved in coordinating the taking down of. I don't know if everybody remembers the skull at the Treasure Island. I took
Hmm.
that down. I took down the original neon signs from the Golden Nugget, Caesar's Palace, a couple other little areas like the Harley
Tam
Davidson
Shanter.
Hotel, Tam Shanter, Merlin Rouge,
Yeah.
all of those signs.
Wow.
I spearheaded the project to take those down and preserve the signs, which is now they just inherited a 14 million or $40 million sponsorship to relocate the Neon Museum now downtown Las Vegas, and that should be coming up really soon. Then I went to the so that was an outdoor job. That was outside, and Vegas is like when it's 120, man. This Hawaiian cannot handle out there 120. So, uh, right down the road was the Discovery Children's Museum, and they were looking for a director of exhibits. And I was like, I can do that. So I would go down there. I would go down there, apply, and we get hired the same day again. Man, God was so grace upon me. I got hired the same day, and I've been there now for this year will be 20 years that I'm at the Discovery Children's Museum. So I was
Wow.
involved in spearheading and helping to build the new location that we're in right now. We were given a Reynolds grant for $49 million to build this museum, and I'm
Mhm.
just so super blessed to be able to help design and create this for our local community here in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the meantime,
We-
um, this Ms. Aloha Hula 1988. How did that all happen? This is all leading as part of your Mo'olelo too now, Sheldeen. Uh, tell us about that.
Like, as my husband was saying, timing was everything for
Hmm.
him. It just fell into place for him and the jobs with the museum. And as for myself, while attending the University of Hawaii, and my husband at the time was playing with uh,
Challenge Museum.
no,
Darlene and
Darlene
JJ.
and JJ
Yeah,
Ahuna, Kalamai.
yeah.
So after he stopped playing with Uncle Charlie and Uncle Smitty, Darlene and JJ, and my husband had a group and they were playing music. And I mentioned to her that I wanted to dance hula again. Because I was dancing at Kamehameha schools. She said, "Okay, I'll go take you to a halau." And I said, "Okay." So that was Ray Fonseca's halau. And I went
Oh,
and
Fonseca.
went before, yeah, Kumure Fonseca. So went to his halau, and I guess I was accepted as a haumana. And
It wasn't even a year.
no, it wasn't even 2 months.
Yeah.
I just
Wow.
started dancing for him. But you know how timing is everything. So my really really good friend, she was his first choice for Miss Aloha, and she declined and decided to run for Miss Aloha Hawaii, which is for the Moko Keawe. So she went and ran in that competition and won, and then I was selected as his next choice for Miss Aloha. And I wasn't dancing for him for more than a few weeks, and
Wow.
wanted me. He asked if I would. I accepted because it's a hula dancer's dream to be asked first of all. So it that's how it started, and we practiced a lot. And I was going to college at the same time, so we would
Yeah.
practice 3 times a day. I would go
Sure.
in the morning, practice in the afternoon, and then at night we'll practice with the halal. And that went on, and then in April won the competition in
Amazing.
19. So I started in 87, won in 88, and this very grateful to Kumu in seeing something special in me, I guess, and making him proud to have a Miss Aloha. So
You know what? As I'm listening to your mo'olelo, your stories, yeah, and you mentioned this earlier, Gary. Akua has a hand in so much of our lives, yeah, and it's so evident in the both of you as you share your stories, yeah, the ebb and flow of your life and the various different things that you experience, how you just
mhm,
happen to be at a particular place at a particular time, and all of this, yeah. The stuff there are no coincidences. I don't believe there are coincidences. I mean,
right.
there is, yeah, there is a master planner, man, and that's so evident in your lives as well, as well. And you guys are thriving now, and my goodness, we're talking about more than well, you're coming up on 50 years of music,
Yeah.
right? Um, uh, Gary, Sheldeen, with your and okay, so tell us about the state of affairs with your music now, and the entity now that's in Las Vegas. Tell us about what's going on.
You know,
Yeah,
we,
how much time you get, Kamaka?
yeah, again, this is a whole completely different season that God has orchestrated for our lives because when I actually I bought an upright bass for my wife to play. I was going to teach her how to play an upright bass,
Ah.
and I told her, let's do a duo. We'll do a duo. We'll start doing a duo so we can share music. Well, lo and behold, one day my son, when he was about maybe 10 years old,
Yeah.
nine, 10 years old, we heard the bass playing, and we're like, "Who's playing the bass?" Because she was with me.
Tutu.
So we walk in the room, and was my son Curran, who is now 28. Since that day, I told Sheldeen, "You fired. He's gonna be my bass player. You can play ukulele, and we're gonna sing." So we started the band Kavili. We were in a local restaurant here for about 7 8 years. We're playing pretty steady. Sometime Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Um, but then it came to the point where my son he was going to college to be a music engineer, and he wanted to have a recording studio. So we built a recording studio for him, and we started recording. Um, so I guess, long story short, where we at right now is we're really trying to limit ourselves to 2 gigs a month. We're trying really hard, 2 gigs a month. Most of them are outside of Las Vegas,
Mm,
because we love to travel and we love to share the music abroad. But a lot of our time now is being spent in the studio, where my son's vision is to document my music, document our music, and
good.
document music of other musicians that visit Las Vegas. So whenever we get an opportunity to get somebody who's visiting into the studio to lay down some tracks and do some music, we're jumping on it. That's pretty much the state of where we at right now. But we are very busy. Very, very busy with music, with hula. Sheldeen, especially, beginning to get very busy with that, but also busy with just our regular lives. And um, it's just, it's in a great place right now. This season that we're in is sort of like,
Hello.
it's great for me. I feel good about being in this season of where Kavili and the music is at right now.
What
Right?
Yeah.
what beautiful story. You know what? I noticed when Shaldi, when you kind of forget something, you hit him on the shoulder to jog both of your memories. I like you guys
My
one brain.
dictionary.
Uh,
On the break, you know, right when we took a break, we both grabbed our coffee cups
yeah.
at the same time, and we're like, oh, you know, it's kind of sort of how it is, and when we're the ones thinking of something, the others thinking the same. You know, very lokahi in our
Yeah.
spiritual walk right now. So we're
So
waiting for
nice.
the opportunity and the next steps on what the Lord would have us to do in this city, in our lives, and be
Yeah.
obedient. But first, you got to aloha, so you have to really pay attention and be able to receive what He's trying to tell you,
Oh
even with
yeah.
still
Oh
small
yeah.
voice. You know.
Yeah. Here's a
And I
good
love
here's a
what you
good
said.
brother. Here's a good brother right here, brother Patrick
Hey,
Lendeza, who lives up in the
Hey,
Bay
yeah,
Area. What's up, brother Pat?
he's in Vegas. He should be in Vegas right now, either in
Oh,
Vegas or on the plane to Hawaii.
that brother, that brother, he's always on the move. I talk to him and I get, bruh, between your catering, you making jewelry, you know, he tell me, bruh, I get 5 kids, bruh. I gotta work.
Yeah, yeah.
Love you, Pat. Where are you, Patrick? Can I keep track of you, bruh?
you know,
Um,
so
they said, you know what they say, a rolling pohaku gathers no limo. So
hey,
he goes, I was supposed to be. Uh
Oh,
oh. Um,
right.
here's brother Nate Jones, who's my production. He takes care of all my production stuff. You've been interacting.
Yeah.
He does a great job. In fact, he's in Honolulu in Kaneohe on taking some time with his family, and he's still working over here. Hey, brother, he says, "How's it, Gary and Sheldeen? Glad to
aloha.
have you on the show. I remember your song Kaneohe, which is so appropriate that I'm back in Kaneohe visiting my ohana right now. Yeah, bro, he's in
Right
Kaneohe.
on.
Yeah,
Oh,
right on, made Mahalo. Mahalo for all the emails and hooking us up and getting us connected. That was really awesome. Glad.
that's some good, brother. I stay so jelly. He looking at the Ko'olaus with the waterfall coming down. Oh, God. Fun at you,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Oh,
But I
Patrick
was
says,
trying to say earlier,
yeah.
oh, he's home picking up the kids. What a guy. Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to say earlier, you said something really profound. You said it to the point where you said something about taking care of your area.
Oh,
And I think that's kind of our vision right now for us where we're at is sort of like taking care of our ahupua, where we
I,
at right now in Las
yeah,
Vegas. Right?
yeah.
That's our responsibility right now.
mhm.
And in fact, she said that to me, and then I had to ponder on it a little bit before it set into my heart to say, "Oh yeah, she's right."
Right.
Give him one slap. Give him one slap right there. One slap. One love tap. But it's so true, yeah. Wherever you are, just blossom wherever you're planted.
Yeah.
You know, nourish the Aina wherever you're at. Share it, and it's evident that's exactly what you have been doing 20 plus years over there in Las Vegas,
Mm.
and you are preserving the culture, deep respect for the Aina wherever you are, and mahalo so much for carrying on the traditions from Moku o Keawe from the island of Kauai, Hana Pepe side, right there to Las Vegas and what you're doing right now. So inspiring. So mahalo for all of that, man. You guys are just love
Yeah.
it, man.
Oh,
Mahalo, mahalo.
mahalo to you for allowing us to share. Oh,
Our
awesome.
pleasure. We get good fun every week. We have such great conversations on it. You saw the video next week, Friday. We have this gal that came from Korea when she was 10 years old. Uh, um, had went through some hard times, and she worked her way up to being a CEO and president of one of the largest real estate and development companies in Honolulu right now. And her name is Christine Camp. So she's going to be on our Aloha Friday show next week. But just some wonderful stories, and we love the mo'olelo, and we love your stories. Thank you for sharing with us, you guys. So awesome, so
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you. Our pleasure. Mahalo.
Oh, it's already 1 hour. This guy's been vala'au. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it's been an hour already. Let me see. Oh, mahalo for coming, Gary and Sheldeen, you Ninth Islanders.
Yeah.
Okay. Our ninth island.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say ninth island. You know, some of the Kuana, they don't like. They said this is not the ninth island. There's only eight
Yeah,
islands in Hawaii. You know, and others are like, we the ninth island. I said, yeah, chill out. Wherever you are, it's all good. You know, you
yeah,
share with the aloha. It's like,
yeah,
it's like, uh, well,
Touchy
it's
subject.
yeah,
what's that, Sheldeen?
It's a touchy subject.
Yeah, it is kind of a touchy subject, but I just tell people, just chill out. It's gonna be okay. It's all right. You
Yeah.
know.
Aloha, right? Aloha
Yeah.
is the
Hello.
there.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Aloha is
Yes.
the connector. So all of the barriers that is put up throughout the Pai'aina or wherever you are, throughout the world needs to be come down, be
Oh yeah.
lowered, so that our aloha can be shared throughout the world and heal a lot of people. You know, that's a special ingredient, I believe, and Pilahi Paki shared this that the world will look to
Us.
Hawaii for the antidote per se. You know, it's aloha. It's not just hello goodbye. It's a special ingredient
amen.
that when added to your plate or whatever you're cooking up, it just adds to it. You know, and it's so true because aloha is the healer, I believe, and the only way it comes is through keakua. So we
Amen.
put our antennas up to Keakua, we receive from him, and then we go out into the world and we break down all the barriers, heal the nation so that we can all enjoy one another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, I
That's
love
my
that.
mana'o is just
Oh,
share aloha. That's it. Because everyone has a specific kuleana, right? You have a kuleana. My husband, myself, my children, everyone in the world has a certain kuleana to pursue so that all of that can happen. So gotta ho'olohe mai and do what he says to do. So
oh
amen.
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
I get chicken skin already. This is the. I just love this. So thank you, Sheldon. That is just that is just so beautiful. Mahalo for sharing your mana'o on that. And there's
yeah,
um, there's Muriel. She's going, oh, well said. And she is going, you two are a lovely couple. Mahalo nui loa. So nice, you
I love
guys.
this man.
And they're casing. You guys are lovely. Mahalo, mahalo. So thank you so much for joining us with your busy schedules, for taking out time for our little virtual paina over here. Sandwich Island Network. We like on small opihi on a big rock. Yeah, we stuck over here. We just
Yeah,
little, and we do our little thing. We just stuck here. We've been doing this for about coming up almost 5 years now, but it's been
Wow.
wonderful with wonderful guests like yourselves. So thank you for making it possible, making it happen. And we're gonna right now, and so nice. And I want to mention mahalo to Brittany Paiva. Brittany is a wonderful friend of ours, a so talented ukulele player. She let us use her music on the Aloha Friday show. And when she comes on, it's time for us to say aloha no and ahui ho. Until next time, aloha, you guys. Thank you so
aloha.
much. Oh my
No,
goodness, so much fun, you guys. You know, I get one picture. I never share this picture. I'm gonna share this picture before we go. Hang on, let me see. I gotta find it. If I cannot find it, I'm gonna be mad at myself. You see. I
yeah, we're
love
gonna
this
take.
picture. Yeah, there's brother right there. There's brother right there. There we go. They're gonna go to the virtual green room, you guys. We're gonna say aloha to everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Aloha Friday show. Thank you to Gary and Sheldeen Haleamau. So wonderful. You guys have a beautiful rest of your Aloha Friday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We see you next week on the Aloha Friday show right here on the Sandwich Island Social Network. Ahui ho, everybody. Aloha
Aloha.
no.